number plate. But the process seems to register some resistance within a few government entities, and some ministries have accepted to register, while others have not, and the deadline that had been given to all government vehicles to fully acquire elapsed. What is the problem?
Thank you very much, Jethro. Yes, it is true that one of the major projects under my docket has been the Intelligent Transport Monitoring System project, which is intended to change the numbering of our motor vehicles from the old type to a digitalized type, meaning that it has a capacity to monitor any tampering with it, both the number plate and the vehicle. And the purpose is to reduce criminality, because many times vehicles, especially motorcycles, were used in the commission of crimes, and they would get away with it. So in the year 2028, His Excellency the President promised the country that we are going to use new technologies to reduce the capacity of criminals being able to evade justice because of the use of vehicles. So government entered into an arrangement with a private company which is providing this service. The beginning was a bit bumpy for different reasons. First of all, Parliament raised questions, and we had to appear before a parliamentary committee and be able to explain to their satisfaction that the project meant well for the people of Uganda. And fortunately, this is what was found out by the committee, by the whole House actually. They approved the project. In rolling out, we also incurred certain problems, some emanating from the world politics, geopolitics, but we were able to overcome them. Anything starting takes time and comes with some challenges, but we have been able to, although we changed dates and so on, we have been able to start, and the project is rolling out now. Most of the government vehicles are already registered. We have begun registering the civilian vehicles, the motorcycles. We have been in Kampala, but very soon we are going to roll out in the whole country, and the project will be fully operational and running.
Honorable Minister, on that very particular issue, have you registered at least some cases where you've been using some of these digital number plates probably to capture people who are committing a few crimes here and there?
Yes, we have. You remember the one which was publicized when a police vehicle was stolen and it was taken across the border to Kenya. Using this system, it was found out to be in western Kenya, and it was impounded and brought back. I don't have all the statistics, but I'm informed that many wrongdoers have been apprehended using the system.
Talking about the intelligent transport monitoring system, Honorable Minister, did you think about the privacy of Ugandans? Because that is one of the challenges that Ugandans are actually talking about.
Yes, actually that was one of the issues Parliament raised. It was the privacy. It was misunderstood that the monitoring system was monitoring the person or the people using the vehicle. No, this one is intended to monitor the vehicle. Of course, eventually you may know the owner, But this is at the scene of crime, not all the time monitoring each vehicle, what it's doing. No, but it's the capacity when a crime is committed and all the vehicles or motorcycles which were present are known, then you are able, using that system, to know the details. For example, if you had a vehicle and a crime was committed and your vehicle was there and we capture its number plates, would be able to tell that it belongs to Jethro. Then if Jethro says, no, actually I didn't have it, Yunus had borrowed it, then we go to Yunus. And if Yunus says, when I borrowed it, actually it's Jim who drove it, then we will be able to reach Jim following that chain.
Maybe let me cross to the Permanent Secretary, Haji Yunus Kakande. The contractor is supposed to have started on registration of border motorbikes and private vehicles. To date, nothing much has been done. However much, we must appreciate that government has really done something to ensure, because the minister has clarified that they have actually registered some of them, and the process is still ongoing. But talking about motorbikes, Haji Yunus Kakande, how best can this be done, probably to quicken the process? Because motorbikes are frequently used in committing crimes.
Thank you very much, Jethro. You know, as the Honourable Minister said, this project has just started. And actually, the full implementation started on 5th January of this year.
Full implementation.
Exactly, January this year. So far, by February, I think, February, this month which we're in, we had already put these new number plates to about 16,000 motorcycles. 16,000. And when we are dealing, we're not dealing with individuals. We are dealing with companies which are importing these motorcycles. So once the company has imported motorcycles, we deal with them and then register these motorcycles. It is afterwards when people are buying, they buy them with number plates. But the process is going on well, I can say. We are only dealing with those ones which are coming. We are not dealing with these ones which are already on the road. So that's what Jethro want to know, you to know. We are dealing with those ones which are coming in the country right now. Those ones, we are giving them new number plates. And so far, as I have said, more than 16,000 motorcycles have got the new number plates. The others which are running, and vehicles, private vehicles, and other private motorcycles, we are going to give them 2 years. 2 years this year, next year. Then come 2027, that's when we shall say that every vehicle in this country must have a digital number plate. Now, with the issue of delays, you know, the problem with Uganda is they always want to do things in a hasty manner. This news has just come. It's not only the global security which is handling. NITAU is within, Uganda Revenue Authority is within, and the Ministry of Works. So when you are paying, you pay your money, then all the circles can be going on, Uganda Revenue Authority, NITAU, and the Ministry of Works. That's time still. So people think that there's like you go in a shop and you pay for a television and they give you the television there and then. So that's the delay they're talking about. In fact, today, if you are even paying for the firearm, you're asking for a license for a firearm, you go to the bank, you pay, then they say that, okay, check until maybe the other day. That's when you can find whether your payment was remitted to Uganda Revenue Authority, and then you'll be able to get the license. You can't get it instantly.
How efficient is this, Honorable?
To me, I think it's very efficient. It takes about 2 or 3 days, and then the number plate comes out. But you know, as we are going on, you know, Rome was not built in one day. As we are going on, we are going even to improve. We want a situation where we are doing it one day. You come in the morning, in the afternoon you get it. That one shall reach there.
Okay.
But as of now, we are moving like that, and I'm sure, I'm sanguine, that very soon we shall reach where we want.
Which country?
The beginning is always not
Easy.
so easy. You produce a child, he first crawl, then start standing. So that's where we are now.
Actually, Ugandans think that by the time you kickstart on an activity, you must have done a good pilot study, so that by the time you roll it out, I mean, all Ugandans are covered at the same time.
Let me tell you, even if you pilot study, I'm going to give you an example. We had pilot studying here of decentralization in this country. We piloted, I think, 5 Dis Mukono and others. But still, it took us time for the decentralization to take effect. Even today, we are still asking ourselves that, are we there? So, piloting is good, but I think where we are, so far we're doing well.
Okay. Maybe before I cross back to the Honorable Minister, which country did you benchmark with that has really successfully done this to fight criminality within their country?
Okay. You know, this process, as all this system, has not been done only with the President's office.
Okay.
It was an interministerial sort of management. We had Office of the President, we had Ministry of Internal Affairs, we had Uganda Police, we had the Ministry of Defense, and other security agencies, plus NITAU. So all these things, all these organizations had to travel. Some traveled to Poland.
Okay.
That was the first country they went to, and see how Poland was working. Okay. And they came back and told us, no, it was working on well. Then they moved to these former Russian countries. I think it was Belarus. They moved also there and found that it was working. They moved also to Indonesia, I think. So they did about 3 countries where they benchmarked and came back and told us that, no, the system is good. And mind you, the objective number one, as the President directed, was security.
Security.
And when they benchmarked, the primary objective was the security component. And that one they were convinced. Now the other issue of getting revenue and what those were secondary. And this one also, we are working on them. Okay. But the main issue was security. People were dying. You remember the late Kagezi? He was killed and the people ran away. Katumba Wamala, Honorable Minister.
Escaped narrowly.
Exactly. And many others.
Yeah,
6 we are being killed around town here. We are using motorcycles, they come and kill them, and off they go. So the main issue which the President was looking at was how can he combat these killings by terrorists.
But of course...
And you can see now, I think there is a breathing space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen our politicians coming out saying that probably you have a target group you're actually targeting, but you're hiding behind security. How true is that? But of course, these are politicians saying that.
You know, the opposition is always will make allegations to that effect. But I'm sure they're also appreciative. They are protected. They are protected. They're able to say whatever they are saying because there is protection in this country. Can you say that one in other countries like that? And you go, only in the 70s and 80s, could you make such a statement and you end up at home? You can't. So they are free to make what they are speaking, but they are always fond of making such allegations, okay. And normally they are proved later on wrong by the population.
Honorable Minister.
Yes, please.
What are some of the reliable features that cannot be bypassed while using these digital number plates?
As I told you, the number plate itself has got a chip which makes it impossible to touch that plate without being recognized, monitored. You know that you are tampering with it. 2, the car. Within the car, there is a tracker which communicates with the chip. So the two communicate. So you cannot separate them. If you do, you'll be recognized. And since the vehicle is registered, they will know who is doing that, who is tampering with the number plate or with the tracker. So these are the two main features in that technology that make the technology very useful for our purpose.
Honorable Minister, we've had our security personnel, especially traffic police officers, we've seen them removing number plates on vehicles. I've seen this strictly on taxis. I've not seen these digital number plates yet on taxis, but what are you going to do to ensure this is not done? Because if it's a policy, I do not know. Ugandans need to understand how to deal with that matter.
No, I mean, every vehicle is going to have a digitalized number plate. Every vehicle, including taxis. So that is going to end, what you are talking about. It's one of the achievements we are going to get from this new technology, including the security of one's vehicle, because it cannot be stolen. Because wherever you take it, we shall know. If you try to dismember it by tampering with the number plate or with the tracker, we shall know. So it's going to be impossible to steal a car.
Honorable Minister, have you thought about the manufacturers that have been manufacturing these old number plates?
Yes.
I do understand that they could be at the edge of losing their jobs, wherever they have been doing this from. How best have you put them into consideration to ensure that they are still in the system?
No, everything was done legally. The Attorney General was involved in this. Their contracts were looked at. The required period as you transit from that type of number plates was followed, and there was an amicable transition. There is no problem. There was no abrogation of a contract, and there was no loss of jobs, because this system is going actually to create more jobs than the old system.
Really? How possible is that,
Because
Minister?
you see, number plates were being provided by two companies here in Kampala.
The digital ones?
No, the
old
ones.
ones. The old one. Okay.
Yes. Tampeco and Brooklyn something. But now, this global security is going to be in more than 10 cities around the country. So we are going, they will be employing about over 1,000 people.
Okay. Honorable Minister, before of course I cross to the permanent secretary, the taxpayers' money. Of course this also crosses to many Ugandans. They think about it, they talk about it, where we pass. They are saying government is using this also. Of course the PS has talked about it, that security is the major, is the most objective that is looked at, but of course collecting revenue being another subject matter. Ugandans are saying a lot of money is being paid to replace the old one to a new, but also purchasing this new digital number plate.
It's not true. Of course, you have mentioned too, there are others, like controlling the control the traffic on the road. You know, carnage that has been going on. Uganda, I think, is like the second country with the highest number of accidents on the roads. But now with this system, a vehicle will be seen to be overspeeding, and police will be alerted and they stop it. That is saving the lives of people. But talking about the money, first of all, the taxpayer is not putting money in this project.
Okay.
Because the contractor is using his own money to roll out this project. And he's going to recoup the money from fines on the road. This little money of changing is not a lot, because for first registration, it is about 700,000.
714.
Yeah,
Okay.
714 for first registration. If you are going to put your vehicle on the road, you pay 700,000. Now remember that that vehicle you have paid that 700,000 and 14,000 is not going to be stolen. It is secure. So compare that 700,000 to ensure that your vehicle will not be stolen. Forget about everything else.
Okay.
Secondly, if it's a vehicle you are going to give to a driver, he's not going to drive it recklessly, because he will be monitored. Again, the vehicle is being protected from meeting with an accidents because of that control. Then, plus the security, which we are talking about, which is the responsibility of every citizen. So is really 714,000 too much for all that? But secondly, the vehicles which are already on the road, it is only 150,000.
The old one.
Yeah, the old ones. To change your vehicle from the old type of number plates to the new one, it's only 150,000. Because that is also misunderstood. People think that getting a new number plate is 714.
All right.
Then for motorcycles, it's only 50,000 to change the number plate of a motorcycle.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Of course, before we go in for that short commercial break, I have a few questions coming in from Leonard, of course, here on WhatsApp. He says, thanks, Honorable Minister Jim Hwezi, for the strength in security. I'm Leonard, viewing in from Kisoro District. Help us with more surveillance cameras in Kisoro to monitor the inflows of Rwandese who spend nights outside people's houses. Thanks for the show. But you have also answered him when it comes to what costs are being put for motorcycles, vehicles, to have digital number plates, and how long will it take, if any, closing period was put. There is another one here saying, why didn't you register motorcycles and vehicles as per the region or districts of their area of operations for easy recognition? Number plates can bear colors as per region to be easily identified, so that number plates can logo on into that represents a region or area of operation. Those are some of the comments and questions that are coming in. But of course, Honorable Minister, maybe you can answer some of these before we go for the break.
Yeah, no, I thank them
Yeah.
for the suggestions. I thank the gentleman in Kisoro.
Yeah.
We are going to discuss with the police and see whether we can increase the CCTV in Kisoro.
Okay.
Yes. It's a good idea. Someone is proposing that we should register.
Region-wise, per
Regionally.
district. Yeah,
Your
regionally.
plan.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
We are going to the regions
Okay.
very soon.
Well, another one is saying, how do you handle foreign registered vehicles in the effort of monitoring smart digital number plates?
Oh, there is an arrangement. You mean the vehicles that come in?
From abroad.
From
Yeah,
our-
maybe. Because it says,
Yeah.
how do you handle foreign registered vehicles?
Yes, that come in. When they come in,
Okay.
there is an arrangement to give them a temporary number plate
All
to
right.
use while they are here.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Continue sending in your messages, of course, and questions. We shall be having time to address them to the Honorable Minister as well as the Permanent Secretary. For now, allow me to take a very short commercial break. I'll be back. The front page continues.
This is the front bench.
The government's core mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of a roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
It's going to be a tall project. That answers somebody's question.
For the past 20 weeks, the front bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice and commerce.
When you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers, you bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport.
If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Now airing every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaigi, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Welcome, traveler, to the adventure of a lifetime. Rare, beautiful, and precious. Embrace the unique, unforgettable, and extraordinary. Come and explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
This is the Front Bench.
For keeping it UBC TV, your public broadcaster. Those who are still sending in your comments and questions, thank you so much for following the show. Questions and messages are still coming in. Ewan Patrick Olwit from Lira says, just like network failure occurs with for example, telecom companies and banks, what guarantee has been put in place to ensure 100% efficiency with the digitalized number plates? In case of a system failure, don't you think the entire vehicle registration will get messed up and maybe rampant car thefts will then occur? That is Patrick Olwit from Lira. Yes, greetings to the guests, host and the viewers. I'm Bosco Maju in Juba, South Sudan. It's great to go ahead for the nation, and I urge the citizens to engage in such program for safety. Indeed, the program is good, but they should give motor users enough duration for renewal for effective empowerment of the program. All right, questions are still coming in. Let me start with the PS. Let's talk about corruption scandals. We have seen this, we have covered this in some of the government agencies and ministries. What are you doing for now to ensure that we don't have such cases when it comes to matters security?
But of course, as you have said, you cannot stop someone committing a crime. That one, no one has capacity. But you can have frameworks, security frameworks, to ensure that whoever does it is apprehended. And exactly that's what is happening in our country. We have put in place so many institutions, the IGG, the Auditor General, the Anti-Corruption Unit in the State House, Parliament, Park, everything. And all these ones are fighting corruption. So, Jethro, tell me any case of corruption which you have seen in this country which you have not, which the government has not handled. And say that this one, there was a crime committed, and this was caught free. Recently, in Treasury, the Accountant General, the Assistant Testing Commissioner, Assistant Accountant General, and many staff over there, about 9 of the Accountant General, they're in prison. They have appeared before court. The investigation started right from October, and up to now, until recently, 2 weeks ago, they were apprehended. So, where is the problem? You cannot still stop people from committing crime. The only thing which I want to ask is that if they commit crime, are they arrested? Yes, they are arrested. Ministers have been arrested. Who is above the law in this country?
No one.
Now, what else can I add? So the issue of corruption, President Museveni and his government, they are spot on. It was among the 10-point program when this government came in 1986. And indeed, they have lived the top. What haven't you seen? Eh? Do you have any case which says that this one was committed and there was no action taken in this country? Nobody.
Is there a point, Haji Yunus Kakande, where we shall reach and celebrate as Ugandans when we are corruption-free?
Of course, to me, that is mindset change now.
Okay.
That's mindset. Let's start from primary schools. Society has changed. Because those one who were in the 50s, 40s, and 60s, and 70s, probably corruption was not something which you talk about. But around 70s and 80s, that's when it went big. And by the time NRM government came, in fact, people could steal millions of shillings of money and go. People stole money from Coffee Marketing Board in the 80s and banked it abroad. Nothing happened. So, me, I think it's mindset change. These organizations are here, they're talking to people, they're telling everybody in Uganda, please, we must make corruption a risk area. Once Ugandans appreciate that this is a risk area, then you can breathe. But no. But they are beginning to see that this is a risk area. You do it knowing what the consequences will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Minister,
I just wanted to add
that
corruption is a vice that affects everybody. Everybody. But also, so many people are involved, but many of them don't want to come out to fight it. When you investigate and you reach a point, you say, can you testify, give evidence? You say, you see, we need to overcome that. Secondly, in terms of the corruption which involves bribery, it takes two people. If it's a government official, there is the other person who corrupts him. So it's not. So it's a very big problem, which everybody needs to condemn, and by changing the mindset, as Haj has said, everybody to shun corruption and be able to fight it, and even to sacrifice and testify and give evidence. I think it will go a long way to curbing corruption.
All right, Honorable Minister, I'm still with you. Away from the digital number plate issues, of late people are being killed in the different parts of the country, either knowingly or unknowingly. But as the Minister of National Security, where are you getting it wrong when it comes to operations and intelligence gathering to protect Ugandans with their properties?
Well, I don't think there is anywhere we are getting it wrong.
Okay.
I think we are getting it right.
Okay.
Uganda is still safe for everybody as a country, and comparatively, it's still a safe country, the safest destination for investment, for tourism. Kampala is being voted the city which doesn't sleep, because activities are going on, people are going about their business, whichever, freely. So Uganda is safe. Having said that, of course there is criminality. It is anywhere in the world. In fact, New York has the highest rate of crime. New York. Yet it's never talked about as an unsafe. But for them, they kill in thousands. They attack in thousands every night. So there is criminality. There is crime. There is cattle rustling here and there. there is robbery
high
here and there.
robberies.
But as Haj said earlier on, the important thing is that the security is up to it. They apprehend them and they are arraigned in courts of law. There is no crime that has been committed that has not been, investigated and culprits apprehended. Yes. So I state without fear of contradiction that Uganda is safe. The security agencies are doing a good job, both the army, the police, the intelligence, and all related security institutions are doing a good job. There is more, of course, to be done because criminally minded people are still alive and well. They are planning, but so are we, preparing and ready to get them.
This takes me to the directive that the President, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, said last year about increasing on the number of patrols, more so in the nights.
Yes.
All the stories that we are covering, civilians are saying, police, please increase on the night patrols. What do you say about this?
No, that's of course police, but I know they are increasing the patrols. They are rolling out the 18 policemen per sub-county, which will go a long way to deal with crime, especially in the countryside. The program is going on. I know the police, the Inspector General of Police is deploying, has reorganized, and is deploying according to the President's instructions. And I think everything is on course.
Haji Yunus, the increasing licensing of guns to civilians by security agencies is identified as one of the major causes of insecurity in the country. What's your take on the subject matter?
First of all, let us see the framework. How do people in Uganda licensed to get guns? The way I know the process, someone must be recommended by LOC1 of the area. From there, he goes to LOC3 of the area. Now from there, he goes to the office of the resident district commissioner of the wherever he is. Now, the resident district commissioner also gets satisfied that this is a good citizen. This is a responsible citizen. Then from there, he also asks his DSO to find information on that very person. Then the DSO also files a report to him that this person is okay. Then from there, they go to Inspector General of Police, to the Minister of Internal Affairs. Then the Minister of Internal Affairs is the last person to allow someone to carry out guns. So, maybe the Minister will add on this one, but me, I rarely see private farms being used for criminality.
No.
What we normally see, we have been having porous borders, especially guns coming from Southern Sudan. They have been coming in this country through Karamoja, and they end up coming into the country. Now we have Congo. There is war there. Don't think that where there is a war with your neighbors, it will be very easy criminals to access those guns. You remember we had ADF in Congo. They were also sneaking and come back here and cause confusion. You remember actually the group, the people who shot at General Katumba Amara. That man, when he was apprehended, he was a deserter from ADF. And he took the policemen to his cells. One cell was in Namongo, another one was in Katoke near Wakiso, and another one was in Matuga. And another one was in Kajansi. So you can see, all these is not firearms which are coming from Ministry of Internal Affairs, but arms which are got from these porous borders. So I can confidently, however I have my minister here, I have confidently said that most of the guns which we have been having here have been coming.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The system we have for someone to get a gun, are really robust. I'm telling you that the first person who signs for you to get a gun is the Minister of Internal Affairs.
If one follows the right procedures.
Yeah.
If one follows the right, and those are the right procedures.
No, actually I'm asking, if one follows the right procedures to hold a gun, who is entitled to actually in the first place? I think Ugandans also need to understand
Every
this.
Ugandan, I think, is entitled as long as is responsible Ugandan. There is no segregation. If you're a responsible citizen, you have a permanent place of residence, you have something you are doing for income, things like that.
If you are looking for a gun for a good purpose.
Exactly, for your security.
For your security.
How do you examine all this?
Oh, that system.
That system.
LC1. For example, if you're a businessman and you are dealing in the transporting valuables, for example, or taking money to the bank and so on, or traveling and so on, the LC1 will know that you are such a person in the
community,
cell, in that really needs security. Two, that you are responsible person. You are a responsible person. You know a responsible person who can handle a lethal weapon and not abuse it. You're a good citizen. Then you go to LC3, he confirms. You go to the district, to the RDC, to the security, the intelligence. They also find out. All that will really identify the right person. If you are such a person, you're entitled to a gun and you can be licensed to carry a gun.
Our time is fast spent, Honorable Minister. What are some of the challenges you're facing, probably as security, to enhance internal security within Uganda?
Well, the major problem definitely is terrorism. The threat of terrorism, the ADF and the Islamic State, these confused people who come from outside and infiltrate our country and try to recruit and confuse our people and cause mayhem on innocent people. This is the biggest threat, terrorism.
Okay.
But I'm happy that our security forces have done a very, very good job. You remember what happened here before in the Kasese when they killed 41 children, when they attacked tourists and a guide, when they attacked here at the Parliamentary Avenue and so on. But the good news is that in all these cases, we arrest the culprits. We infiltrate them and break up their cells, which Haji was talking about, the cells which they have in different areas. And here we have cleared them.
Okay.
And we have now followed them, thanks to the DRC government, to allow UPDF to go to Eastern Congo and fight them where they have been hiding. So I think that big threat is also being handled. Then the other one is criminality, crime, mostly caused by, I think, of course, criminal mind, but also poverty, economic hardships of some people who don't want to work, instead steal from those who work. Yes, it is the other problem.
Okay. Haji Yunus, funding, do you receive enough funding to run all your operations?
You know, first of all, I want to talk about that issue of funding. Including America, with big economy, they can't have enough money to fund all their priorities. You just prioritize. But I would say that we don't have enough funding to run our operations. But at least we have funded adequately to be able to do some work. The work which the Honorable Minister has talked that we have been able to apprehend some of these criminals. We are not doing it without money. So we don't have enough funds, yes, but what we have is enough to do that work. Because also you must know that our economy is not so robust. We cannot balance our budget.
Okay.
We can't balance. You know that we can only get 29 trillion. The rest we have to borrow. So if you have such an economy which is not yet having a balance, but which is not yet balanced, you have to find priorities. You have to find priorities. You plan according to what you have, according to the past you have. So definitely, government is trying its level best to make sure that security forces, agencies are funded to be able to meet those challenges which the Honourable Minister has said. At least optimally, we are doing that.
And to add, the background of our security forces, the background is not, we are not careerists. We are not careerists. We still have that ideology of providing services free of charge, like we did in the bush, where we are giving our lives. We were not being paid. So up to now, people don't understand that UPDF soldiers, for a long time, they lived in the Mama Ingia Pori, in small shelters.
Okay.
But they were doing a good job. So funding has never been a priority. A salary, no. We are not careerists. We are freedom fighters trying to liberate the country. But government, as the economy improves, it also improves in facilitation.
All
So,
right.
yes.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, together with the Permanent Secretary. We still have a number of questions coming in. Good evening, team. This is Bari from Lobalangit, Karenga District. How do you handle motorcycles from near countries like us here near South Sudan? How do you handle network issues too? Lastly, how do you handle unauthorized entry to number plate data and systems? That is someone from Karenga District. My vehicle, BMW registration number UAG, was captured and confiscated by police in 2008. Honorable Jim, 2008. I was implicated in a crime which even was not committed but fabricated. I was imprisoned and was released in December 2023. I have claimed my car from your police for the last 15 years in vain. Help me intervene that my car is actually gotten. Okay, that is Adban Van Mark from Omoro. All
Adban?
right. Yes, he's called Adban.
Adban.
From
Yes,
Moro district.
From Moro, yeah, Adban Van Mark. All right. Another one is saying scenarios have happened where you find motorcycles and vehicles spend months and years without number plates, with even the knowledge of traffic. As a local person, what can we do, or will it remain the same even in the digital era? All right. Hey, good evening. I am Cosmas Adebo from Obongi District. We thank Honorable Minister and Permanent Secretary for this great initiative. For us who come from refugee hosting districts, the number of vehicles with foreign number plates are more than vehicles. Obongi District has a refugee population thrice the host communities. Currently, the vehicles with foreign number plates are used for insecurity purposes. How can this rapidly be handled to reduce insecurity? All right. Phillips from Karamoja. Messages are actually coming from Karamoja. Phillips from Karamoja, good evening. This is a laughable. Corruption in Uganda be wiped out or even reduced. IGG wanted lifestyle audit, but government refused, and yet this was the way to go. Someone gets employed, and after 5 years, he or she is having a series of personal projects with a salary of 700,000. All right, I think we can answer to these. Maybe the last one, Anthony Mushabe from Barara. Why does a foreign entity, stroke contractor in charge of server and the entire digital system, isn't this a risk to national security?
Which one?
Why does a foreign entity or a contractor in charge of the server and the entire digital system, isn't this risk to national security? Secondly, why has the digitalization of MV plates been activated without legislation in regards to infringement of privacy? Those are some of the questions, I think.
Yes, to begin with the very last one, we talked about it. That Parliament raised everything, and it was, we discussed with them. The Attorney General was involved, and everything was done according to the law. So there was no infringement of any privacy or anything. Then regarding the 2008 BMW case of Adban, we definitely need more information. Let him come. He should come, Mr. Adban, give us more information. We investigate that case. And if you have been unfairly treated, correction will be made. You will get your car or compensation. Yes. Then the gentleman from the refugee area, that some foreign number plates are being used. This is interesting. We could prioritize that area, and we give them the digitalized number plates, so that we stop the misuse of those foreign number plates. Yes. What was the other one?
There is one Austin Bahenda from Malaba. Will the digital number plates help with traffic jam in Kampala Metropolitan? Will car owners be allowed to monitor their cars on their phones such that both parties are involved? This one is Namara from Rukunjiri. Thanks for the show.
Yes. Maybe related almost to what he's asking. There has been an allegation that this new number plate is going to take away the capacity of private people using their own tracking system of their vehicles and so on, and also take away the business of those service providers. Now the answer is that this new system does not interfere with your own arrangement. So you could still have your tracking, private tracking, or tracking of your vehicles. So it's not interrupting any existing arrangement.
All right. What's the process of changing the number plate for old cars? I think that we talked about, Honorable Minister. Mocho Joffre in Mayuge, how long can one take to receive the new number plate in exchange with the old one? I think that was also talked about. What will be the actual amount of money to pay for registration in case the grace period expires? This one is I.S. Ganicolas from Kakumiro district.
But I think that one, because now we have put 2 years. But normally, our political leaders, including the minister, sometimes they give an extension. They can say that, okay,
you can.
So many vehicles have not been registered. Let's give you another maybe 6 months. But once the 6 months or whatever extension they have done elapses, then whoever will be apprehended with an odd number, it will be a crime and will be prosecuted. So all we will give a fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Good evening, Minister of Security. What exactly makes the number plates digital? Because the QR barcode on it doesn't do anything apart from showing you the numbers on the plate.
No, that is not true. This, as I said, there is a chip.
There is a chip.
There is a Bluetooth
that is not accessible to.
Nobody can see it.
No one can see it.
Nobody can see it.
It's not a chip code.
Nobody.
All right. Permanent Secretary, your last words to the viewer in regards to all the issues that we have talked about.
Okay, my last words to our viewers, since we are here mostly on issues of security, I want to request Ugandans that as you are coming towards the election, because we don't have even a year from now, let us try as much as possible to keep peace in this country. As the minister has said that it took us heavily, people paid up heavily to make sure that this country is liberated and put into the right leadership. Therefore, we must ensure, all Ugandans ensure that we have peace in this country. We avoid creating situations which will bring out confusion in the country. So let us all work for peace, whether in opposition or in government. Let us sit together. If there is anything which you think government has not done well, you are free to come to the Minister for Security and inform him accordingly that, by the way, I see this is not working well. Okay. How can he strengthen the security in this country? He will give advice. He will make things okay. But this business of creating disharmony, of calling for people to go on the streets and demonstrate, that one must be avoided by every able-bodied Ugandan. There are so many ways where disputes can be resolved in this country. There is a national parliament. If anybody has a problem, let him go to parliament and or inform his member of parliament or a member of parliament that you take this issue to the parliament and we debate it. So it's time Ugandans learn that violence is no longer an issue in this country. Things must be done through the ballot box, and whoever takes the day takes on the government. So that is my advice to Ugandans, that keep peace as we are moving towards 2026. Avoid issues which will put you in conflict with your life.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Permanent Secretary Haj Yunus Kakande. Honorable Minister, your last remarks, you talked about terrorists.
Yeah.
And probably clarify more on the advisories coming in from other countries that recommend tourists actually not to visit Uganda because of the security encumbrances.
Thank you very much, Jethro. Thank you, Haj, for your wise counsel to Ugandans to keep law and order. My last word, first of all, is to thank our security organizations, all of them, UPDF, police, intelligence, prisons, wildlife authority, security, all of them, and Ugandans for keeping Uganda safe. I would like also to thank His Excellency the President, the Commander-in-Chief, and who is responsible for all the guidance, especially in security matters, that has kept Uganda peaceful, very unprecedented for some of us who know the history of this country. Because insecurity was state-inspired, but now it's no more. The government provides security to the citizens and protection of their property. Uganda is very safe, as I said earlier on. It's very safe for investment, for tourism, for visitors, and it is because of concerted effort by the security agencies, by the local communities, by people who give us information when they detect wrongdoers or people who plan wrongdoing. So we thank you. As we head for elections, let us keep law and order. Let us do everything according to the law. We have a parliament. It has passed very robust legislation to make sure that everybody can live in harmony with one another. Let us do that. Let us not use politics in order to disrupt security, because without security and stability, there can never be development. So let us invest in security. Let us support our security agencies to make sure that we keep Uganda stable and secure.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, retired Major General Jim Mwezi, Minister for Security. together with the permanent secretary to the office of the president, Haji Yunus Kakande. Thank you so much for sparing time to come and talk to the nation about matters security. Now, we have come to the end of the show, UBC front bench, but of course the discussion continues using that hashtag on our different social media platforms. The hashtag is UBC front bench. Jethro Kasaigi is my name. From me and the entire team, it's a good night.
Fellow countrymen and women, these are our ministers and permanent secretaries at the front bench, representing the various ministries and answering the questions that matter to us. Join the conversation. This is the front bench.